Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and yes, we're back again with another video. Lately, I have been receiving questions from friends and family about film photography, so I thought, hey, why not I compile everything I know about film photography for beginners. Hence, this video is about 6 things you need to know about film photography if you're a beginner. Number 1. What is film photography? Film photography is a form of art that allows you to capture images into thin, transparent strips called film. So it's like modern day photography, but instead of using your digital cameras as your medium, you're using your film cameras and your film rolls. However, the process of taking these photos and scanning and developing them take a lot more effort than digital. So what are the other differences between digital cameras and film cameras? Digital cameras allow you to capture as many images as your memory card permits. However, in film cameras, they allow you limited shots according to your film rolls. So some film rolls have 24 exposures, some have 36 exposures. It means that each shot becomes more carefully thought of and it gives more sentimental value to it. So film photography, guys, is for the emotion. Another thing, guys, is digital cameras give you instant outputs by just transferring your files from your memory card down to your computer. However, in film cameras, film rolls need to be chemically developed. It also means that film photography can be expensive because you need to buy your film rolls constantly. If it takes a lot of work and money, number 2, why is it even popular? So allow me to share with you an interesting read. So according to the Roxy Music founder Brian Eno in his book called A Year with Swollen Appendices,
whatever you now find weird, ugly, uncomfortable, and nasty about a new medium will surely become its signature. The whole thought is really interesting, go look that up.
In short, there is magic in the old technology. Perhaps to me, it's the attitude of the photographer that stands out the most, because it's the hard work, the patience, the right moment that bring more value to each shot. So who are some of the celebrities who use film cameras? There's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who uses the Context G1, Mark Ruffalo with the Mamiya RZ67, and of course Kristen Stewart with her Nikon F2 Potomac. And of course, guys, all of your Blackpink girls, they all use film cameras. Jennie Kim has her own Instagram just for that, for film photos. And of course, Lisa has like a collection of expensive cameras from point and shoots down to rangefinders. Number 3, what are the different kinds of film cameras? So you have your instant camera, disposable camera, your point and shoot, and of course your manual camera. So your instant cameras, your cameras such as the Polaroid and your Fujifilm Instax, they're called instant because they give you solid output in just a matter of seconds. So there's already the printed copy. If you're really good in finding valuable old stuff, you'll get just as lucky as me because I was able to buy this sheets for like 99 pesos at HMR. So normally they cost more. So it already has like 2 packs of them, which give me 20 film exposures. I'm gonna show you real quick how are you gonna unload first. So you just have to like pull this open. Okay. And then you'll see the cartridge. You just need to align where the yellows are and then you're good to go. Tear that open. You'll see the cartridge, the pack, just like the yellow mark here, and align that with the yellow mark here. There you go. Close the door. Now, how to turn it on? Just pull the lens. It's already turned on. You just need to like wait until the lights here turn green. So the first shot you'll get out of the Instax per se is of course the trial sheet. So let's just try it here. The first film that comes out. Basically, you just wait for it to come out, and there, guys, it's coming out little by little. Next, we have our disposable camera. There it is. It's called disposable because you can't reload another film into it. It's a single-use camera, basically. So I have here the Fujifilm Simple Ace, and I'm gonna show you how to use this one. Tear this open. And then there you go, guys. Here's your disposable camera. It's really easy to use. So it has 27 film exposures. There's instructions, but everything is basically in Japanese. Really understandable. You need to glide this scroll up here. So glide them until it stops. There you go. It doesn't glide anymore. You're good to go. Turn this on by pulling this thingy you'll hear something. Once this light turns red, it means you're good to go. Just make sure to always use your flash whenever you're indoors because it might turn out really dark without using it. So there you go, guys. So I'll just turn this off. Next is the point and shoot, aka one of my favorites. So it's like your digicams, but of course you're using your film rolls. It's slightly more complicated than the first two cameras that I showed you earlier. So I have here like 4 of them. So I've held tons of point and shoot cameras before since I started my film photography journey in 2015. So also in 2020, I decided to put up an Instagram business called Mern's Garage by selling some of my point and shoots before. If you're interested, just go ahead and search Mern's Garage on Instagram. Go ahead, give it a follow. I'd really appreciate it. I have here the Yashica Zoom and the Minolta Riva Zoom 90C. My Yashica Zoom is already broken, but I decided to keep it anyway because Lisa from Blackpink has the Yashica T4, which is closely related to the series of T-series from Kyocera. So I also have the Fuji DL550 Zoom date here. And of course, the thing that I'm going to demonstrate to you guys is the Yashica Microtec Zoom 70. I would love to show you how to unload or how it works when it's rewinded already, but since I'm going to put in a fresh pack, I won't be able to show you that. This is how the film strips look like. So they give this back to you once the lab processes your film rolls. I have here the Kodak Max Versatility with 400 ISO. The thing here is it's already expired. It was manufactured in 2005 and it has been expired for 14 years already because the expiry date is in March 2007. If you're familiar with the stops in film strips, it means that the quality of the photos become thinner, so less likely the image will be detailed. However, we can do something about that. Here's a trick for you. Get your tape and maybe around this length. Okay. And then guys, open the back door of your camera and you'll see here where the film is supposedly placed. You'll see like 4 gold dots, or sometimes they're not gold. Actually, they're bronze. You need to cover them with the tape. So as you can see, we covered the 4 bronze dots already. Guys, if you're really on a budget, you can go ahead and buy expired films. If you're using manual cameras, you don't need to do the trick that I did earlier. Get the film roll inside. Here you go, guys. It's the Kodak Max 400. You just need to put your film roll here. There you go, it clicks. The other side has like teeth that stuck to the holes of the film roll. There you go, guys. It's basically how it looks. Now you close the door and you turn on the camera. And now here, guys, if you see the light turns green, it means it's on focus. So we'll try to make a shot out of this. You have like a signal here. It says 2 already. It means it's your second shot out of this camera. It's really simple. You can just use it anywhere you go. Let's move on to the more complicated ones, your manual cameras. If you are familiar with your manual mode on your DSLR, then it would be easier for you to use your manual cameras. There are 2 kinds of manual cameras, the SLRs or your single lens reflex cameras, and of course your rangefinder. SLRs use a series of mirrors to compose and focus on your subject. So basically, what you see inside a viewfinder is what's going to come out of the image in terms of focus. On the other hand, rangefinders use a rangefinder patch. So inside the viewfinder, you're going to see the phantom-like image that you need to align to your subject in order for you to focus. So once it's aligned, you don't have to worry if the subject is blurred or semi-sharp. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to demonstrate an SLR for you guys. I would really love to discuss more about the ISO, the aperture, the shutter speed, focusing, and of course your light meters, but that will take me another whole new video to discuss. So if you're interested with that, let me know so maybe I can make another video. So here's my Mighty Yashica Lynx 14E. So people give it its moniker, the king of low light, because of its whooping f1.4 built-in lens, mostly compared with the Leica M6. Wow, Leica. But yeah, it's compared with the Leica M6 because of course, the 1.4 f lens. The difference is the prime lens or the 1.4 f1.4 lens, it's built in, so you cannot take this out. So it's very heavy because it's all metal and full manual film camera. You don't need any batteries. The only battery you need for this is if you're using the light meter. So if you're really good with the lighting and stuff, if you're really familiar with all the settings and stuff, you don't need battery at all. So I'm gonna show you guys how to unload the film roll inside. First, you need to push this button here so it releases the film roll inside. You have to pull this thing here, and you need okay, there you go, guys. Now once it already clicks, you will already see all of the film strips have gone inside the film roll back. Now you just have to get that out. And then close the door, the back door. And just put this inside again so that you make sure that it will not be exposed to light. So there you have it, guys, for your manual cameras. What are the different kinds of batteries when using your point and shoot? I have here 3 of them that I can show you. First is one of the most common ones, the CR123A. Something slightly smaller, the CR2. Of course, we have here the 2CR5, which is bulkier, heavier, because it's like 2 pieces of CR123A, but they're like connected with this black thing. Where can you buy them? Here in the Philippines, you can look for that online, but if you want to go to physical stores, there's the Bateria PH. There's a stall in SM North. You can go ahead and look at. Number 5, film formats. There are 3 film formats in film photography. Number 1 is the 35mm, or abbreviated as 35mm. Basically, all of the cameras I showed you earlier are using 35mm. So it is the most common film gauge, and it normally has 24 to 36 exposure. It is named after the width of the film strip, and it is introduced by the Leica founder Oscar Barnack. Second one is the 120mm, or the medium format. It is larger than the 35mm, which means more detail and less grain to your photo. Medium format cameras are also bulkier, heavier, and larger than the 35mm camera. Lastly, the most uncommon film format and the oldest one is the large format. So it is uncommon because it uses film sheets instead of film rolls, so it is no longer portable. You can usually see that on period movies or historical films. Number 6, if you're a beginner, the most common question is, what film roll should you buy? So there are 2 of the most common and least expensive film rolls to start with. There's the Fuji Color C200 and the Kodak Color Plus. So both have its pros, but it all boils down to your preference. So guys, remember the box. Kodak Color Plus, it has red and yellow box, which means warmer and more saturated colors for your photo. While the Fuji Color C200, it has green and violet colors on the box, which is very good for landscape photography, and you don't have to worry about oversaturation. So personally, I love Kodak Portra 400. It is the love child of the earlier film rolls, Kodak Portra 400 NC and the Kodak Portra 400 VC. So Kodak Portra 400 is more expensive than the 2 rolls I mentioned before, but it is guaranteed with quality because it is also considered as a flagship film roll. So it is good for taking portraits. So my runners-up are Kodak Ultramax and Kodak Gold. So Gold is really good under the sunlight, while Ultramax is a total banger, and because of its versatility, you can use it for whatever photography you're into. There you have it, guys. That sums up the 6 things you need to know about film photography if you're a beginner. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And of course, guys, before I completely end this video, I would just like to share with you the greatest tip of all time when it comes to film photography, and that is you have to enjoy and have fun with your film camera, with your film roll, with whatever decision you're gonna make. And if you make mistakes, who cares? Just go ahead and shoot that roll today.